Megan Anderson was a bright and bubbly soul. Not a single strain of aggression or anger. Everyone knew her as Sunshine back in her high school years, a nickname that stuck. It was even engraved on her tombstone. I never knew Megan personally, so it was a surprise to see that she had left me something in her will. It was a 2x3 Victorian style dollhouse with a lot of miniature furniture and decorations, each piece purposefully glued into place. I admired the details and aesthetic of the house. Inside of one of the second floor bedrooms, I can see a small figurine seated on the foot of the bed. The figurine instantly resembles Megan. In another room, on the first floor, is another figurine seated at a dark oak vanity. I peered into the other rooms and found another one in the master bedroom. It was positioned on the bed, the figurine's back towards me. I assumed Megan had created small dolls that resembled her family and stationed them throughout the dollhouse. One question remained though. Where was the figurine for her little sister? I searched the entire dollhouse and didn't find a single figurine that looked like a child. I was about to give up when I noticed a set of stairs that led down into the drawer of the table, but it did come with the dollhouse. I cautiously pulled the drawer open to find an unfinished basement, and there I found the figurine of her little sister. The small doll sat at the top of the steps, her head buried in her hands, as if it was in the middle of hide and seek. A few inches in front of the doll is an odd indentation in the drawer. I touched the indent inside. It had clearly been damaged during the move. I thought to myself, and yet I couldn't shake the feeling of guilt. I closed the drawer and took a step back to admire the dollhouse once more. Before I left my study, "I can fix it tomorrow," I mumbled through a yawn. The next day, I checked the dollhouse. Something felt off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I checked all the rooms and noticed that one of the figurines had disappeared. Panicked, I checked all of the rooms and even checked the floor of my study, but I couldn't find the figurine anywhere. I suspected a mouse had taken it since there were a few mouse droppings on the table. Disgusted and angry, I made an appointment with my local exterminator and made plans with my friends to go out that night. But the feeling of guilt stuck with me, even as I tried to drink the feeling away. My friends noticed the sudden change in my mood and offered me a ride home, which I graciously took up their offer. A few weeks went by, and I completely forgot about the dollhouse. There were so many things going on with my work that I didn't notice the dollhouse, more specifically, the appearance of it. One afternoon, I just returned from a day out with my sister when I noticed the dollhouse. I was taken back by the pale yellow exterior and the white wraparound porch. It even seemed smaller. At least, I thought it did at the time. I tried to remember what the dollhouse looked like before, but I couldn't even if my life depended on it. Was there always just one figurine? Was it always this atrocious yellow? I tried to pull open the drawer, but the thing was jammed. Or maybe it wasn't meant to be open. Another few weeks went by, and I forgot about the dollhouse again. I was so caught up with the fact that I lost my job. I started to binge drink, and I lost all motivation. Something that day made me get out of bed and straight to my study. I looked around the room and sighed. There was no reason for me to keep all of the office appliances. Besides, I needed the money. I noticed the dollhouse that resembled my house, down to the tiniest detail, from my initials deeply carved into the hand railing of the porch, to the cracked picture frame on my desk. There was even a smaller version of the dollhouse, and I in the study room. The figurine was even peering into the dollhouse. A little creeped out, I called up Megan's mother, but the phone went straight to voicemail. A little more concerned, I tried their house phone, and there was no answer. I was about to call her little sister when a piece of paper fell from underneath the table the dollhouse sat on. I leaned down and picked it up. The words were barely legible. If you want the bad thing to go away, send this dollhouse to a stray. I furrowed my brow in confusion and felt goose pimples form on my skin. How did the note get there? I thought as I looked around the room. There was no way someone could get into the house. I kept the windows and doors locked at all times. Maybe Megan put it there. But why would she do something like this? I brushed the note off and continued to drink my problems away. I didn't make the connection until I received a link on Facebook about the Andersons. Each family member had suddenly disappeared, the same way Megan had. Not a single trace of them. Only a single note was left. Everything bad was sent away. They are no longer strays. I quickly scoured my study for that note. I held the note next to my phone and noticed that the handwriting was exactly the same. So, this is my will. I saved this onto my laptop, and I'm sure my parents or the police will search my laptop first. Gabrielle Fisher, I bestow this dollhouse to you. If you read this, I urge you to immediately pass it on to someone else. I'm sorry.